why people hated Jesus. Um, so about my travels, you see human behavior, see how they interact, how they intermingle with each other, and you can see how some people kind of look down on others, or they act in such a way of someone's puffed up, and it breeds arrogance, seed in their nature, and wondering. It's like we kind of all know why Jesus was hated. He's the Son of God. But it's like deeper than that. A lot of people kind of had a way of revealing their mishaps, mistakes, and people don't like that. People don't like accountability, period. Nobody wants to say I did something wrong. Especially if it's something like really, really bad, right? Nobody actually wants to be chopped down to who they really are. I can't say who they really are because you are so much more. We are so much more than we realize. But their actions show where they're putting themselves at, and that kind of reveals it. Even in his presence, people disdained him, and they kind of use anything to puff themselves up, right? Well, you pull at Jesus, or you hang out with low lives, or whatever it is. You don't look like royalty. You don't have a good haircut. Whatever the fuck it was, right? You got dirty nails. And people would literally look at him like it's almost disbelief that this person is better than me. This person is perfect. Ain't no way, right? A lot of people don't like to feel like they are not better than someone else. Jesus is perfect, so it's just like Jesus is better than all of us. But we had to pretty much learn that reading the Bible and really understanding the Bible is not something where people in that time saw it as it was. Some did, but not all, not the majority. And the majority of people, they feel as though their accomplishments in life, how big or how small, you don't have to be a millionaire in order for you to have arrogance. There are people that literally work average jobs, and some people don't make no money at all, right? Some people are homeless, and they will still look down on someone like I am better than you, and we all know better than anyone else. And it's wild how we view ourselves. We always seem to put ourselves higher, right? It's that primitive drive that comes out, that survivalship. It's very hard for you to cast down those primitive drives and not go into preservation mode and just, you know what, not me, it's all about, helping the other person. You're going to come from I have to save myself because I value myself and I don't value anyone else. And the crazy part is, I always say the crazy part, but we often see the self-sacrifice when it comes to children. But in any other circumstances, we deem ourselves higher than the next person unless that person shows worldly prominence and someone is like a celebrity, then it's just like you will get the shirt off your back, just for a hello. And the fact that a man that does not represent any type of I would say it doesn't glitter to the eye. Those type of things. What Jesus represented, it was ordinary. It was plain, very plain, but it was correct. And that no one wants to promote something that is plain, something that is hard to do. It's easy to be fancy, right? It's easy to puff ourselves up and say, well, I did this and I got that, and whatever it is, right? Whatever you feel is deemed worthy to you, of value to you, that's what you tend to puff up as your accomplishment, because everyone is subjected to narcissistic ways. You have to actively kind of cast these things down, because narcissism is pretty much self-preservation, like on like extreme level. Narcissism can get really, really vicious, because it is self-preservation to the point where you are now crushing other people to get your gain. And if you are not aware of it, you will automatically fall into that line, right? Everyone has narcissistic tendencies. I have narcissistic tendencies. Everybody does. And whether you do it in the name of justice, whether you do it, just for self-gain, it's something where you want to puff yourself up, right? There are people in prestigious places, statuses, that will crush people in the name of helping others, and it shows their demeanor, how they speak to people, everything, right? So, it's easier to point the finger. It's easier to look at the beam in the other person's eye, right? Because it takes the awareness from away from you, and it's not easy. And I get it, No one wants to be like, you did this wrong. No one wants to say, yeah, I did, X, Y, and Z incorrectly. So, no, I have to, fix it. It takes a lot of vulnerability and a lot of admitting to shame, right? At the end of the day, it's the shame level. No one wants to feel shame. No one wants to feel like it brings you back to, when you're a kid. You did this X, Y, and Z incorrectly. Because then it's almost back to reprimanding. And depending on how your parent was and their parenting style, some parents literally just humiliated the child in front of the whole school, beat the living shit out of them, and now the child has to go back to school the next day while every kid is laughing at them. That kid remembers that when they get older. And now that a kid is subjected and potentially doesn't want to feel that ever again, right? So that child may grow up into become an adult that does not take accountability of their actions at all, or has to have the correct point all the time, right? You ever met someone and you talk to them, they gotta be right all the time, and sometimes they're flat ass wrong, and it's just like, okay, that's when you get to the point where everything they say, you're just like, okay, you're right, and there is no reasoning with that person, and it's okay, right? In a sense, while you're talking to that person, it is frustrating. I've dealt with that before, where it's just like that's maybe not how it works. Let's kind of explore this before we find a proper justification for something. And that person's just headstrong of like, nope, it's this, because I know it's this, and these are my findings, and I'm going to selectively pick my arguments to make sure it fits, without seeing the bigger picture. And it's just is what it is. All it does is reveals their how their process, how their brain is wired, whether that stems in psychodynamic, how they were as a childhood, as it's something where they have picked up these behaviors in adulthood or young adulthood, adolescence, it doesn't matter. It just shows something that you picked up. This is behavior that you've learned. This is behavior that you're going to stick to. So you have to come to a point of no one likes to be wrong. We're all in this world that we want to feel validated. We want to feel like we're right about something in life, because everything in your life is not, most often, not going to be the best, right? We're all just trying to make it, especially if you're in New York. We all just trying to survive, right? People go to work every day. People have to go to school. They have to, pay your bills. They have to do this. There's a lot of shit I don't want to do. So you have to, you have to feel like you're right in something, right? And I can't blame people for that. You like, I want to be right in something too. But looking at everything, there's no way I can be right about everything. There's no fucking way. It's foolish to think that you know the answer. In a school, right? Without ever attending the class. It's one of those things. Even if you were attending the class, you still don't know everything. You just know everything in the class, right? It doesn't mean that you now know about the world. How many times have people gotten a degree and gone out to the world and not used their degree? Have not used their degree in the slightest, because that's not life for them. That's not what life handed them. That's not what it carved out for them. So we have to get to a point where, are you going to be okay with being wrong? At the end of the day, are you okay with being wrong? And I think that comes down to when you give your life to God, you are legitimately saying, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and I want to attend school so I can know what I'm doing. And it's not, we're going to learn fucking calculus and fucking, computer science and shit. You're learning life. You're learning how to conduct yourself in life. And these are the principles of life. It's just something of, how about just being honest, right? How about just being a kind person? Give to people. You walk by and you see somebody that's struggling, literally struggling, and you just got paid, right? And you're like, I'm gonna get me a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I'm gonna get me blah blah blah, blah, and I'm gonna get me this, and I'm gonna go out and this weekend, and you could spare that $1, and you see this person is just like, yo, I'm just hungry, right? Or whatever it is. You can't give that $1. The pride puffs up. Well, you should have did better in life. You don't know why that person is in the predicament that they are. You don't know the type of family they have. You have no idea. Some people's family is not like yours. Some people grew up in very loving homes and very supportive people in their household, whether it's their parents, that one cousin, that one uncle, that one aunt, their grandmother, whatever it is, they have some kind of support system that is able to be a listening ear and give wisdom, wise, sound advice. And if that person doesn't have that, what are you going to do, right? Or what if circumstances happen of just life period, right? A pandemic happened. A lot of people lost everything. A lot of people lost their lives. People lost whole families, right? I'm the only one left in my family. COVID wiped out the whole family, right? Now, what if you were the youngest one and you were trying to establish yourself and everybody lost everything and then you have nothing? and that person now is on the street. You mean to tell me you should have did better in life? You mean to tell me that COVID was something that they can do better in life in? We don't know. We don't know. We have no idea. But we assume that we are better. We assume that we have it figured out. We assume that everything makes sense to us. When ask yourself, what is the meaning to life? No one can answer this shit. No one. And so you go to the maker, you go to the manufacturer. The manufacturer has the answer. He's the person that made you. You didn't make yourself. Ain't no way in hell you made yourself. If you did, then you're God. Everyone should be going to you for every answer in the world, because you know how we are wired. You know why we do the things that we do. You know why life happens and why this world is set up in this way. So to conduct life, you know why, right? Or do you really? Because I don't. Ain't no way in hell I do. I'm literally just trying to be a good servant. Be a cheerful giver. Be a kind person. Even though people are not kind to me. Even though people throw rocks every day. Every day people throw rocks. And people don't understand the whole picture. They think they do, because it's the puff. You have to be right about something. Well, I know something about you. Are you sure you know everything? It seems so. But are you 100% sure? Are you the maker? Well, I'm not the maker. So how do you know? Were you there? You know? It's one of those type of things. Chicken before the egg. I can't even say chicken before the egg, because it's very plain. We are not the maker. We all came out of someone's stomach. We all got pushed out or cut out. So it's very black and white with this. This is not shades of gray at all. Now, dilemmas and how life works, yeah, that can be shades of gray, but who the maker is and who you are in this role of life is very black and white. And that's where you have to cast down your pride. And if you can't do that, that's when animosity, that's when jealousy, offense happens. How could you be better than me? No one's better than anyone. We are equal. Well, how could you be equal than me? That's crazy to say, right? People do that. That's why prejudice, racism exists. Equal, but yet people look down on the other person for some minuscule biological fucking reasoning and think that how could we be the same? Black people were looked at as animals. And no one can deny this. Jews were looked at as animals. I think every race has been subjected. Especially Latinos have been prejudice, racism towards them. How many people say horrible, derogatory freaking remarks to other races? Chink, speck, nigger. All this shit is horrible, yo. And we do it like it's like fluid of just water. But your neighbor is of that race. It's crazy. Who would say some crazy shit and then say hello to our neighbor the next day like it was nothing. And God forbid the neighbor heard, you just act like it didn't happen. That's how far we've come in society. We act like it didn't happen. You would talk about someone literally sitting right next door to you. Literally sitting right next to you. You'll talk about them horribly. And then you'll look at them like, what are you talking about? You know that's narcissistic, right? That's literally gaslighting. That's like one of the ultimate tools of narcissism. They will do something in front of you, and then they will make you think your reality is all twisted. When you know you heard and you saw what they did. And it creates a dissonance where you think that, well, maybe I'm the fucked up person. Maybe I'm the person that's wrong. And it's all the illusion. It's all the illusion. How many people know that one asshole, that one friend asshole is just like, "Yo, you're just a dick. Like every time I come around you, you try to get at me." Or that boss is just like, "Yo, why?" Right? Or that family member, and it's just like, "Yo, sis, why? Bro, why?" And then it's just like people will try to make you feel like they're better. And you're sitting here like, "Yo, I'm just trying to fucking, conduct my life." Like, ain't nobody woke up and say, "I'm gonna get at you." The narcissist did. But there's something in you that irritates them. And it's because you're a badass person. There's something in you that they see that they don't possess. If you're the funny guy at every outing, that person, "I don't have no charisma, so I'm gonna be a dick." Or not even that. Usually people have, I can't say not everyone that has really good charisma is a narcissist, because it's not like that. But charisma is one of the many assets to be able to camouflage their assholeness, right? One of the best ways to deflate a situation or to make things turn your way is through laughter and flattery. If you know how to compliment and you know how to tell a good joke, you're going to go very far. Now, the subject of your joke depends on your character. Because you can make all the jokes in the world and be making fun of someone that's literally a sliver away from suicide. And you think it's funny by making jokes about them as they walk by every day. Or you could just make jokes about life. You can make jokes about sandwiches, whatever the fuck it is, and that person is just like, "I like that girl, I like that guy." They'll take life seriously. They're at fucking peace. They're happy. And they make me feel fucking happy. And I want to be around them. Everyone knows that one person that's just like Uncle Mark that comes to the freaking barbecue, or whatever outing you have. And that person's just sitting back, laid back. They got their beer, they jamming to the music, and all they're doing is making jokes about good times. And you're like, everybody loves Uncle Mark. Everybody loves Auntie Sarah. Auntie Maria. Auntie, it's all what it is. Be that person, yo. And the crazy part about it is, usually that person that is very charismatic is very okay with themselves. They're very okay with their fuck ups. They will make a joke about themselves and the fucked up shit that they did, and everybody laughs because they're like, I'm human. What the fuck are you gonna do? It's what are you gonna do? It just is what it is. But you can see when someone where it stems from. It's a piece about them. Now, for the people that do use charisma to make fun of other people, to really do some real asshole shit, there is a tinge, there's a feeling that happens when you do hear it. It's like, haha, it's funny, but then you kind of look at that person like, what are you going to say when I'm not there? That always happens. Now, we don't talk about that, but you feel it. And it's almost a wariness of, let me stay on this person's good side, because I don't want this person to talk about me. It doesn't matter. The person's going to talk about you whether you're there or you're not there. It just takes one offense. They've showed you their character. Everyone cannot keep a facade long enough. They can't keep up a mask long enough. We have to be authentic to ourselves. You are going to give away your character whether you like it or not. So you have a choice whether you're going to fix your character, or are you going to keep up this facade. People are going to see that you're an asshole. People are going to say that you're a good person. Now, whether you're a good person, it irritates their demons and it irritates their fuck-ups, that shows the accountability of them. Are you willing to say, wow, I like that quality of that person. Let me try to learn something from them, right? No one ever wants to be a student. Everyone wants to be a chef Everybody, it's so many chefs in one fucking kitchen. Ain't nobody want to be a sous chef. When are we gonna come to a place of, you know what? I love your personality. Just people I've met, I love their personality, and I just want to know their life. Maybe like, yo, how can I be more like you? Like you are Uncle fucking Mark at the party. How do you do it? How are you this happy? And Uncle Mark don't live in a mansion. Uncle Mark has a simple fucking life, but he's filled with love. He's filled with love around him, and he's just like, yo, I'm just doing me. If this person would be like, I got food in my belly, I'm around people I fucking love, I got my beer, and the music is going. Uncle Mark is the shit. Uncle Mark is awesome. And everybody loves Uncle Mark. Why can't we be like Uncle Mark? And that's pretty much Jesus. Because Jesus wasn't on some like, I'm better than you, was walking around, I'm better than you. Jesus wasn't hanging out with everybody, okay? Sipping wine at fucking weddings and partying and just on some like, damn son, like you talking about all your travels, you just happy, you at peace. He's just like, yo, bro, you could do it too. Just follow God, yo. Some people don't like that shit. How the fuck you that much at peace? How are you this much at peace? How are you this happy? Who, you think you better than me? No, I'm not better than any of you guys. You feel like I'm better than you. That's what you're saying. You're projecting. So, I don't know. When you reveal the goodness of you, it just gets to the point. Most people don't like it. I think the fairy's coming.